The infamous holding call. The call. Here we go again. The NFL. Another big game. And another shitty call. Honestly, let's just call it what it is. Another big game. And I get it. Everyone's going to get out there. Oh, you want the last parts of the game to be played differently. Bradbury admitted it. That's fine. All of that is fine. But again, when Goodell comes out and says the referees have never been better, the officiating's never been better, it's never been more consistent. Are you serious? Like, Goodell, are you actually watching how your 7, 8, 9-figure guys on the field, the product that you're putting on the field, how it's actually being called and making the fans, the people that drive the money into this league, feel? Because, I mean, third most viewed Super Bowl ever. Not consistent with how the Super Bowl was called at all in that game. Does it surprise me? No. Hell no, it doesn't surprise me. And that's the sad part, is it doesn't surprise me. It hasn't surprised me for years. And maybe call me a homer. I really realized it when it happened to us. I'm not going to go back into that tangent, but that's when it, and not even just for me, I think that's when everyone realized that it came to the forefront. We were like, wow, these calls, not that egregious, but damn, they're bad. So now we're going to sit here and ask the question, of course. And again, the calls have never been more consistent. The officiating's never been better. That's why, again, the biggest event in the sport, one of the biggest events in the world, one of the most popular events in the world, one of the most viewed events, all the money is behind it. That's how, again, that call didn't decide the game, but that's what a lot of fans are going to talk about. Unfortunately, that call in that point of that game is going to lose viewers in the NFL. It might not be substantial. It might only be a few 100,000, might only be a few million. I don't know the numbers of how many, fans or viewers, fall out of the league and how many come back in. I don't know how that fluctuates, but that call right there will be the reason why people stop watching the NFL. And I hate that, because it's a beautiful sport. We have legends playing their lives out, playing lights out in front of us. And that's one of the calls that happens. I want to see what it says here. Even if he wasn't held, I thought Mahomes wouldn't have connected on that pass. And that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Darby. I'm really glad that you brought that up, because, there's a whole thing of, was it an uncatchable pass? This, that, and the third. Would Juju have even caught it? You had Keyshawn Johnson on KJM in the mornings with ESPN, Keyshawn, Jalen, Max. He was like, he said something to the effect of they either did or didn't call that, or they called it the way they did because of Juju's play style. And he was like, I think he said, like, if Tyreek Hill would have been running that route, that, like, maybe they wouldn't have called it because Tyreek would have been able to get there anyways if he was held. I don't know. Either way, though, to me, when I look at it, it was an uncatchable pass. Juju is not necessarily a burner. I mean, yeah, he'll lay out for catches, but, it clearly wasn't able to make a play there. So thank you for pointing that out, Darby. I appreciate that. But y'all call into the show. Y'all get into the chat. Hit me up on Twitter. Text me. Let me know. 678-480-8716 for the call line here. 678-480-8716. Did you agree with the call on James Bradbury? Again, I'm not going to say the holding call was the reason that they lost. Again, the Eagles defense didn't show up. I thought Andy Reid, out-coached Nick Sirianni at certain points in the game. And it turned out the way that it did. Is it unfortunate? Yes. Will Eagles fans always remember this? Yes. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. It's really bad. It's really bad.